Anniversary of the Ngumbela tournament, which was established mainly to draw youth away from social ills as well as to promote sports development, especially in rural settings. But to talk to us about the importance and the significance of this tournament in terms of developing young stars, I am joined by Edward Khoza from Cricket South Africa. Sir, thank you very much for your time. We do understand that these are very important platforms, especially to promote sport development, and also talent scouters do come here to look for talent.
Yeah, no, as we proud ourselves in celebrating the 35 years of this tournament, this is something which is quite significant in the history of cricket in the country, and it's quite important that this legacy continues, because as you see, it takes into account young talent from the rural areas here, giving them a meaningful sporting opportunity where you find that they can expose their talent, and then later on you find that some of the kids that are playing here, they more or less also get picked up and they get opportunities to go to some of the top schools or even go to some of the programs that we have within our pathway. But what is also heartwarming is that some of the former players that you find that they have made it up in the professional ranks, coming back and playing for their own villages, which is something which is giving back to and strengthening the competition of this magnitude. We are proud in terms of the facility that we're standing on here is one of the hubs of Cricket South Africa. So there is always daily activities of cricket that are currently taking place here with the coaches that have been appointed to ensure that cricket within this community continues. And I think the one significant issue is just to make sure that the development of cricket doesn't fall off the cracks. And as you can see, the facility itself will put most of the stadiums into shame. When you look at the amount of people that are here attending, as well as the quality of the infrastructure, is something that we pride ourselves, and we will continue as Cricket South Africa to support this community and to support this facility to ensure that the Ngumbela legacy lives on.
And what about the other sporting in other areas?
No, we here in the border region, we have 5 hubs that are stationed here. So currently as Cricket South Africa, we have 70 hubs around the country which we directly fund. We employ coaches, we fund transport, we make sure that kids are playing a certain amount of matches, and part of this is just to make sure that we can transform the sport and close the gap that currently exists between the amount of matches some of the kids get exposed to in relation to our other counterpart in a well-established environment.
All right, so let's talk about the Test crickets now. There are talks about the decline of Test crickets. So what is the stance of Cricket South Africa when it comes to that?
Well, it's quite interesting that before we cross the year 2020 to 2024, after the Test cricket in Supersport Park, I don't think there was anyone speaking about the decline. We always associate ourselves with the winning, but the issue which we need to appreciate and accept is that we're in a transition phase. You can see with our Test team, for example, that there are new faces that are coming in. The stars that we had before, they're phasing out, and we need to make sure that we intensify our aggression when it comes to making sure that we can beef up and rebuild our Test cricket team. What is a huge challenge at the moment is definitely the lesser amount of Test matches that our players get exposed to, because as you can see now, normally you get exposed to play 2 Test matches against any other country at this point in time, but we're working behind the scenes to try and make sure that we can get more content for Test cricket, because it's something that keeps the games alive. And the unfortunate part of what happened in Newlands doesn't mean that the game is demising. It can happen at any given stage, but the issue which is very vital is just to ensure that we keep the livelihood of cricket, which is Test cricket, alive. And I think the efforts that have been done behind the scene will be seen down the line, and we are very intentional about keeping Test cricket alive.